All right. So first it was Edwin Diaz. Well, I guess first it was Cedric Mullins.
Can you hear? I can't hear you.
I don't know why. I can hear you. First it was Cedric Mullins. Then it was Edwin Diaz. And now it is Pete Alonso. And I don't know what to tell you. It's your sound, not your mic, buddy. I'm going to try and remove Seth. Can you hear me now? Guess not. So anyway, we'll see when Seth gets his mic getting. Can you hear me? Yeah?
Not.
I don't know. That's Seth over there. I'm Sean over here. I can hear him. He can't hear me. I don't know why. But
God, wait. We may have something. Can you hear me?
Hear me now. Can you hear me now?
There you go.
All right. Well, first it was Edwin Diaz. First it was Cedric Mullins. Then it was Edwin Diaz. Now it's Pete Alonso. And the Mets and David Stearns has totally shat all over my offseason. Yay! This is great.
I don't think you wanted Alonso at this price point, though, in this many years.
I am thoroughly frustrated. Thoroughly. My team sucked down the stretch. They have two major free agents. Well, there are three major free agents. I guess four. Kyle Tucker, too. So if they don't get Kyle Tucker and they don't get Clay Bellinger, they already lost Kyle Schwarber, and they already lost Pete Alonso. They better get one of these guys, because right now my first baseman is Matt Vientos. My outfield, considering I traded Brandon Nimmo, is Juan Soto. That's it. That's my outfield. That's my outfield. Yeah. So right now I got a whole lot of nut. And if I'm a Mets fan, I'm saying WTF. I mean, seriously, that's what I'm saying. If you have a plan, David Stearns, if you have a plan, please share it. Because
maybe you can pull the Indianapolis Colts and bring back David Wright and play him at first base.
David Wright can't stand up straight.
He may be able to now. It's been 5 years.
Yeah. We'll talk about Phillip Rivers in a second, because Ben Roethlisberger is licking his lips. Anyway, that was probably the wrong phrase for Ben Roethlisberger.
You think?
Yeah, I think. Anyway, if I'm a Mets fan, first of all, that's the second worst news today. If you're a Michigan fan, you lost your coach. So I'm
not sure if that's the worst. I'm not sure if that's the worst thing or not.
I don't know. They went 9-3 this year, but okay, let's get back.
Nobody's really been a huge fan of Sherman Moore, though.
So Edwin Diaz goes to the Dodgers for what is reportedly $3 more million than the Mets were willing to pay him. If I am Steve Cohen, I'm saying one of two things to David Stearns. Number one, please tell me you didn't want this guy, because I could have given him $3 more million. Number two,
it was sitting in his sock drawer.
Right. Please, it was sitting in his interest that he had in the last 10 seconds I've been talking about this. Number two, please tell me you didn't want Edwin Diaz because you don't believe that he is the closer that Devin Williams is. Number three, Devin Williams better be a damn good closer, because, man, the Mets have totally screwed this up. Not that the Yankees have been that much better, but I'm not comparing myself to the Yankees. You want to be the Dodgers, Steve Cohen? You want to be the Dodgers, David Stearns? Go sign your guys.
I'm laughing because I don't think you wanted Alonso at this price point. I'm not sure you wanted Edwin Diaz, to be honest.
For 3 years? Of course I did.
I guess you were afraid of the 5-year, $100 million deal?
Well, that's what we signed. He didn't get 5 years.
No, I'm saying, is that what he got?
Yeah, I don't want any pitch. I don't want a reliever for 5 years, but for 3, who cares? There's a lot of deferrals in there. Sure. Pete Alonso? No, I didn't want him, but I wanted him or Kyle Schwarber or Kyle Tucker. So
okay, first of all, Schwarber and Alonso signed the exact same contract.
Yes.
And neither of them play defense. They're DHs. Why?
Well, to be fair, one knows he's a DH and one does not.
Fair. So you did not want Alonso at this.
No. Well, I didn't want Alonso the first baseman at this. If Alonso was going to be the DH, sure, whatever. But I don't want Alonso the first baseman at this. And he's going to play first base, for Baltimore. Look, I'm glad he didn't go to the Phillies. I'm glad he didn't go to the Red Sox. Super psyched he didn't go to the Yankees, because I couldn't take that. But, I mean, he went down the turnpike to Baltimore. Best of luck to him. He was a good player for the Mets. I just want a plan, dude. I just want a plan. None of my teams except for I guess the Knicks have a plan. And the Knicks have a plan to wait out everybody else's injuries. That's their plan. And the Islanders have a plan. It's to surprise everybody, which is what they've been doing. So they have a plan. But I'm still waiting on the plan. I really am. For the Jets, for the Mets, I'm waiting for a plan. I haven't gotten a plan. And
when was the last time you had a plan for the Jets?
Oh, the Jets plan, actually, I'm sorry. I don't have a plan for this year for the Jets, but I definitely have a plan. My plan is to hope that the Colts suck for the next 3 to 4 games. That pick comes into the 10s or 15s. And then they have the 4th pick in the draft and the 15th pick in the draft. That's a good plan. I like that plan.
And don't tell me you're going to trade him to the Giants with the number 1 pick so you can get Fernando Mendoza?
You know my thoughts on this year's quarterbacks. I want no part of it.
Yep.
If I am a Jets fan, there is one guy that I want on this team. Can you tell me who that guy is? One guy in the NCAA I want on my team. And it's not Drew Aller.
I was going to say Drew Aller doesn't seem like a reasonable option at this point.
I actually do want Drew Aller. I just want him in the 3rd round. But give me my 1st round pick. Who do I want? I'm picking around 6. Who do I want?
Carnell Tate?
Close. Same position.
Jordan Tyson.
I want Caleb Downs.
Carnell Tate is a wide receiver. Caleb Downs is a safety.
No, Carnell. Oh, I'm thinking Carnell Lake. Sorry. No.
Why would Carnell Lake be coming out? Is there a Carnell Lake Jr.?
Hold on. I think you're confusing guys.
No, Caleb Downs is the safety from Ohio State.
That's the guy I want.
Carnell Tate is the wide receiver from Ohio State.
Okay. I want Caleb Downs.
Okay.
I want a guy and understanding that if I get Caleb Downs, he will be the highest drafted safety since hold on. Carnell, yeah. He will be the highest drafted safety since Jamal Adams, who was also drafted by
the
Jets. So I'm happy with that. That's the guy I want. If I am a Jets fan, I need a guy on the defense that is a tone setter. He is a tone setter. I need a Kyle Hamilton type guy.
I was going to say that's where you're going with this. Look, I would like him too. As a Giant fan, I'd be very happy with him as a 1st round pick.
Yeah, but you're not taking a safety 1st overall.
We're also not going to end up with the 1st overall pick. So,
okay.
I think we'll beat the Raiders.
Oh, okay. Because you won't have the 1st. I don't think, truth be told, I don't think that 1st pick is being traded. So if you are the 1st pick in the draft, I think you're keeping it. I don't think anybody's trading up for these guys. I just don't.
Yeah, I'll believe that when I see it.
I know. But anyway.
Well, it depends how many quarterbacks come out. If Mendoza and Dante Moore come out, people are going to trade up.
If Mendoza and Dante Moore come out, the Giants don't need one. I guess you have 4 teams that need one. It's the Browns, the Raiders, the Saints, and the Jets.
And all of them are top 10 picks that are going to have the ability to trade up.
Yeah, first of all, I don't think you're going to see, and we have a long time to talk about this, but I don't think the Jets are trading up. I just don't. I think they have too many holes. I don't think they care. They're waiting for one guy.
They're the Brooklyn Nets of the NFL. They're going to keep all 5 first-round picks.
They're waiting for one guy next year. They got 3 first-round picks next year. They're waiting for one guy.
They're waiting for Arch?
He is the nephew of the guy that wouldn't come. So, yes, Arch Manning. I believe they are waiting for Arch Manning. And they have 3 first-round picks. And you know what? Daniel Jones getting hurt doesn't exactly hurt them. It helps them. Because, man, Riley Leonard ain't going to be that savior. Ain't going to be that guy. And you can make the claim that the Colts also need a quarterback now. But the Colts don't have a first-round pick for the next 2 years.
Nope.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. But if I'm a Mets fan, I want to plan. I just want to play. And I'm a little disturbed by the fact that I don't have one. And it may be Tarek Skubal, but then I still got nobody that could put up runs. And I wouldn't be surprised if Kyle Tucker made his home in New York. But the problem is if Kyle Tucker plays left field and Juan Soto plays right field, man, you better have like Kenny Lofton playing center because there's no defense in that outfield whatsoever.
But on the bright side, you'll have spent over $1 billion on 2 players.
Dude, I'm likely to spend over $1 billion on. I'm spending $1 billion on 2 players now. It's Juan Soto and Francisco Lindor. I mean, I'm already there. I got $1 billion with a B. It's Steve Cohen's interest over 4 days. That's basically what he's got. But yeah, all right. So let's talk CFP. Let's start with that. Okay.
You wanted chaos.
I wanted chaos. I always want chaos. For those that are uninitiated, I always want chaos. I wanted chaos with 2 teams. I wanted chaos with 4 teams. I want chaos with 12 teams. I got chaos. And I got pleasant chaos at that for me. I did. Notre Dame, not included. This will be the only time Notre Dame will not be included because they actually have a contractual right to be included starting next year. But it was nice for them, the high and mighty Notre Dame Fighting Irish, not to be included. I was happy that, first of all, the ACC got a team because they didn't deserve one. And that the CFP basically said to Notre Dame, get in the damn conference already. Because if they were in a conference, they would have been in the CFP. That's my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, this always goes back to who are the 12 best teams versus who are the 12 most deserving teams. And I don't think there's a doable argument saying Notre Dame is not one of the 12 best teams. But they lost 2 games, and one was to the number 11 team. I don't think their argument is that strong. I mean, I think I think their argument is better, to be honest, against Alabama. But the problem is, it's like everything else. The problem is if you penalize Alabama for losing the conference championship, you're going to have teams that are going to try and opt out of the conference championships.
Yeah, because why should they play?
Exactly. This is what college football has become. The team, I think Oklahoma is probably the weakest team in the Big Four or that made it. Oklahoma has no offense. And I was kind of surprised that everyone gave them the pass. But I don't have a major problem with them taking Miami over Notre Dame. I don't think Miami's that good. But you're 10-2. Notre Dame really hasn't beaten anybody. And they played head-to-head and lost. How big an argument? The big argument is Miami should have been ahead of them before that. Well, what would have changed?
Well, what you're going to see, Seth, is less and less out-of-conference games. That's what you're going to see. Now, the thing is, Notre Dame's not in a conference, so everything's an out-of-conference game. Yeah. Except they do have a, quote, agreement with the ACC. So they're playing ACC teams anyway. Miami was not one of those teams this year. They just played it as an out-of-conference game. But they still
played them, though.
What's that?
They still played them, though.
They still played them. But you're going to see less and less of those types of games because why would you play that game when it's going to be when you're going to be penalized for it? And that if you lose, you're going to be penalized for it.
Yeah. But the trade-off is you didn't beat who was the best team they beat this year?
Syracuse, 70-7.
Yeah. So who's the best team they beat this year? USC?
Probably USC.
You didn't beat anybody. You just didn't. And as hard an argument, it's a crappy argument because I think everyone believes that they were a better team than Miami and a better team than Alabama or than Oklahoma.
Then join a conference.
Yeah.
Goes back to the same thing.
And don't pull out of a bowl. How old are you? 9?
Well, to be fair, they're not the only ones that pulled out of bowls, right?
The other ones pulled out of bowls because of coaching, because literally they lost their coach.
True. Well,
this one was because again, they may lose their coach.
They may lose their coach.
But I'm pretty sure the Giants aren't paying the buyout. So I they can talk about it all they want. I don't think the Giants are paying $50 million to buy him out.
Is that really the buyout? It's $50 million?
So.
Looking it up now. I don't know what that buyout is.
So Notre Dame beat Purdue, who stunk. Arkansas stunk. Boise State was mediocre. NC State was whatever. They beat USC by 10. They beat Boston College, who stunk. They beat Navy. They beat Pitt. That's a nice win. They beat Syracuse and Stanford. There's no great team here.
No, you're right. So, okay, Marcus Freeman in December 2024 is around $4 million. Post-extension, which happened in 2024, estimates suggest it's potentially $40 to $50 million.
Giants aren't paying $50 million for Marcus Freeman.
But here's the thing, Seth. You don't have to pay a buyout for a pro team.
Wouldn't that be contingent on how the contract is set up?
Generally, buyouts are only for college, not for pros. Generally. But you're right. I'm not exactly sure. I don't know. It's possible. But most buyouts that I understand are based on going college to college. But it may be for a pro buyout too. I don't
AI overview. Again, this is quick and dirty, but Notre Dame would require Freeman as a buyout, which would require an NFL team to pay substantial money, rumored around $40 to $50 million to get him.
Okay, well, the Giants are definitely not spending that. No.
Here it is. No NFL carve out. Freeman's extension does not contain any specific clauses that would allow him to leave for an NFL job without the standard buyout being paid.
Doesn't matter. The next Giant coach is right down the road in Pittsburgh. Doesn't matter. Next Giant coach is Mike Tomlin.
We'll see. Look, I'd be happy with any of the AFC Central coaches.
Shane Steichen?
He's not AFC Central.
Oh, he's North. So Harbaugh, Tomlin, Houston?
Stefanski,
and what's
Zach Taylor?
Oh, and Cincy, Zach Taylor.
Yeah, Stefanski, I think, would be great.
Yep. Well, I guess we'll find out in like 4 weeks, right? When we get Black Monday that comes along for the NFL coaches. But that's coming up soon. Congratulations, sir. 12-1 and 7 points away from a perfect regular season. 7
and yet probably not the first or second favorite to win our title.
No, but we also do have a bye week, which is very important for this week. For those that have been keeping track, Seth and I are in Get the Bye in the Seth and Sean Fantasy Sports. We also are set up for a matchup potentially with our good friend Nabate Isles, who got the fourth seed. He goes 4-5. He is a 52 to 48 favorite this week. But But the key is that his two quarterbacks are actually playing against each other in Drake May and Jared Allen. So
I don't think it's Jared Allen.
Josh Allen. How many times am I going to do that?
It just
Josh
annoys
Allen.
you that he's not a Jet. It's
You
what it
know,
all
the
comes
thing
down.
is, they're both going to be Hall of Famers. That's probably why I continually mess them up.
Is that our segue?
Oh, that could be a good segue. That's a good segue to the NFL Hall of Fame. No, to the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame we can go. But hold on a second. Let's just keep going for a second. So Nabate is 8-6 going against the 7-7 Mexican Fury, who he actually made the trade. This is the trade of Quentin Junkins for Josh Allen that he made earlier in the year. So this is the team that he made the trade with. So this could come back to bite him, hopefully. Because truth be told, I really don't want to play Nabate in the second round. Not one bit. I view him as the top team. Our arch nemesis, and I say this because every year these guys are always the ones that beat us. A Baker, he changes his name. It's a Baker, a Hunter, and a Mason. That's a pretty cool name. I haven't even looked at it. He had Travis Hunter, he had Baker Mayfield, and he had Jared Mason, Josh Mason,
Trey Mason?
the guy out of Minnesota, the running back.
Trey.
Nope, Jordan Mason. He had Jordan Mason. So he had all three of those guys. We beat him to knock him out of the playoffs. If he had won and beaten us this past week, he would have gone to the playoffs as the 6th seed. So happy days. How are the remainder of your teams? You had 5. So how'd we go?
2 are out.
2 are out.
Because I had the fun of losing to a team that had 2 players on bye, or 2 players that didn't start.
Okay.
So that stunk. And then I had another one that just completely shit the bed. The Jaden Daniels, CD Lamb play didn't work very well for James Conner didn't work very well for us.
No, the Terminator was terminated this year.
Very early. So I have the 1 seed with you. I have the 4 seed. I am playing in the playoffs. And the other 2, I'm about a 4 seed, but I have the most points by 150. I think I'm about a 60% favorite in one. The other one, the Sparkle Farts, my brilliant pickup of CD Lamb and Justin Jefferson looking smarter by the minute. They haven't even come out yet with who I'm playing. I think I'm the 5 seed.
Okay. I have 3 teams. I am the 1 seed in ours. I am the 2 seed in the work league, and I am the 3 seed in the one that I run myself. First time I've made the playoffs in that league in 5 years. So very happy to know that I will not be paying a fee this year. I will be getting that refunded. So good for me. Pleasant surprise in that league, especially when I picked Ashton Gentry in the first round. So that didn't work out well, but round 2 was Amon St. Brown. Round 3 was JSN. That was a helpful pick. We will get more into not only fantasy playoffs, but also keepers as we continue going on. By the way, Trey Benson was announced today not to be playing the rest of the year. So we don't have to we won't be activating him off our IR. That was a hell of a trade by us. Travis Kelce and you know what? Kelce wasn't bad until he forgot how to catch the ball last week.
But he did get us a tackle.
He got us 1 tackle and 1 catch, which give us the bye. That's all we needed. Yeah. So all in all, not bad. I know you're a little disappointed with Joe Burrow and the fact that the Bengals did not win this past week, which probably knocks him almost out of the playoffs, not totally out. I got to tell you, I wasn't happy seeing Mike Tomlin and Aaron Rodgers win, but I think I was more disappointed in the way that Lamar Jackson and the Ravens played. And to that end, we keep talking about Mike Tomlin leaving. Is John Harbaugh is 6-7, right? Not in the playoff hunt right now. They certainly can take. They play again against the Steelers, so they still have that shot. But has his time run out in Baltimore?
I think so. it just feels stale. That whole division feels stale. And whoever wins the division, I mean, Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh's last 4 games, they're 7-6. They play home against Miami, at Detroit, at Cleveland, and home against Baltimore. You're looking, I think, 9-8 with really no reasonable chance to go any further than a one and done. The Ravens, I really think every coach in this division may be out. The Ravens play at Cincy, home against New England, at Green Bay, and at Pittsburgh. That doesn't feel like a winning season at 6-7. Cincy 4-9. They have, I think, a pretty easy run.
Yeah, but they're done. 8-9 doesn't win this.
Yeah, I mean
9-8 will win this, but 8-9 will not win this.
Well, yeah, they play Baltimore, they play at Miami, they play Arizona, they play Cleveland.
Right, they can win all the games. Last week they needed to win last week.
Most likely.
Yeah.
And Pittsburgh looks like they're going to win by default, but again, 9-8 may not keep Tomlin. Cleveland's going nowhere, and I think they want to have a scapegoat. And look, Stefanski's a 2-time coach of the year, won at least one coach of the year. And Cincinnati, has gone progressively downhill. I think all 4 coaches there are in trouble.
So we haven't talked since Thanksgiving, but I would like to point out probably the best interview I have heard all year was by Joe Burrow. So you and I picked up Joe Burrow on waivers. We've been waiting a couple of weeks for Burrow to play. And because of that, I watched the Bengals-Ravens game that night, really for no other reason than watching that game. And my biggest concern in that game, right, was that he was going to shut it down because I didn't think they were going to win. And truthfully, I didn't believe Joe Burrow had any reason to be out there. And he was asked the question, I believe it was by Melissa Stark, who says, Joe, and I'm paraphrasing here, Joe, why are you here? Right? Why are you playing? Your team is 3-8. There's no reason for you to be playing. Do you remember? Did you see the interview?
No, but I get the gist of it is pretty much he wants to play.
No. Yes, but that's not the answer. The answer was they are paying me a lot of money to play, and I owe it to the fans to play. So here's my thing. This is what every fan says, right? They're being paid a lot of money. He said the stuff out loud that every fan has always said. And I love the fact that he came clean, right? That he said that. Because he is being paid a lot of money. He's paying $50 million. And to be fair, I didn't think he was going to play either that game or any game the rest of the year. Because if I were him, or I was a guy with a bad foot, and I had 3 more games and no playoff spot, I probably would have shut it down too. But he didn't. And for that, he gets my admiration. Very happy with the results. And it also tells me, Seth, he's probably not shutting it down even if they're out of the race.
No,
he's going to play.
Not.
He's going to play. So very happy to see that. Yeah, I mean, so let's talk about the geriatric guy in Indianapolis. Are you surprised? Because I'm not surprised.
I don't know how you couldn't be surprised that a guy hasn't played in 5 years is coming back to potentially start for a playoff contender.
No, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised he came back. I'm surprised that he's starting. I can't imagine that. But when they said, "Oh, Phillip Rivers is coming back for the Colts," I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Why not?"
He knows the players. He knows the coach. He knows the system. And maybe having 11 kids in his house got a little bit boring, or a little not boring. It's probably not boring, but probably needed to get the hell out.
Here's my next question. If he leads the Colts to the playoffs, does he then make the Hall of Fame?
I don't know.
Like, how far does – so right now he's not a Hall of Famer, right? You and I
he's
both
all very good.
He's the Hall of Very Good. What gets him into the Hall of Fame? If he makes an AFC championship game at 44, is he then a Hall of Famer?
Probably not. I think it would probably have to be a Super Bowl. But how great a story would that be?
I mean, seriously, he wins the Super Bowl and then retires again, right? And then
I guess the question is, why would he retire?
Right,
Jones isn't coming back. Richardson is they don't have a pick to take the quarterback with.
For those that are unaware, Philip Rivers was up for the Hall of Fame this year.
Yep.
Okay. And the ruling is if he stays on the practice squad, he will not be on the ballot. So even if he's one of the candidates and they have to narrow the candidates to 15 players. That's part of the rules of the NFL Hall of Fame. If he becomes one of the candidates that's in the 15 and he plays a game, they will eliminate him from contention. So it will be another 5 years until he is eligible to be in the Hall of Fame. However, if he is just on the practice squad, that's fine. He can do that. So it really depends on whether he starts this year. But I think his candidacy, if he plays and does well, is actually better in 5 years, Seth, than it is now.
It probably is.
He's not against Roethlisberger and Eli Manning and Tom Brady and those guys. Now he's against who? Who's retired in the last 5 years that's going to make that?
Nobody.
Right. So let's presume Aaron Rodgers retires after this year, but nobody knows what the Aaron Rodgers experience happens. But let's presume he does. So the only quarterback in the last 3 to 4 years that he will be going against is Aaron Rodgers. I think he actually has a much better Hall of Fame chance now than if he did before.
That's funny.
I don't think it played into this. I don't.
No, I don't think he doesn't strike me as someone who cares that much about that kind of thing.
That's right. He's not Eli. Eli cares. Yes. Eli wants this. Okay. Speaking of Hall of Fames, because I think we have to go there. Okay, so we just had what was at one point called the Veterans Committee, and I'm not sure what the hell it's called anymore. But it was players that played in the last 30 years that dropped off the ballot. And it's basically their second chance at Hall of Fame, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we know the normal suspects, right? You have the PED people. So you have Gary Sheffield,
Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens.
Then you have no Rafael Palmeiro, by the way. Then you have the injured people. That would be the geriatric Don Mattingly. And then you have the guys that I believe are underrated in Carlos Delgado. And then you have, I don't know how you say this, the obstinate people in Jeff Kent. That's a good way of saying it, right? The unliked people. Let's call them the unliked. So there are new rules for these veterans committees. If you go up for a vote, there are 12 people. If you get 10 votes, you get in. If you get less than 5 votes, you cannot be on the next ballot to get in. Delgado, I think, got 7 votes. Kent got 12 or 11. And the 3 guys that we love so well in Bonds, Clemens, and Sheffield all got less than 5.
Correct.
So they will not be up for another 6 years. And in 6 years, if they get less than 5, they are no longer considered. Now, I know you and I have talked offline. You think in 6 years they are in. They are absolutely in. Right? 100%?
I do. I think less and less the people who are going to be on this committee are going to care. I just think it's the way the world is going. I think there's less purists out there. And I think their dominance is going to pretty much supersede it. I think the 2 of them will be in.
Okay. So just to be clear, Mattingly is still, it's called the Contemporary Baseball Committee, by the way. So Murphy doesn't get in, Valenzuela doesn't get in, Mattingly doesn't get in, Delgado doesn't get in. Truth be told, I think Delgado gets a short shift. We talked about this. 473 home runs. And to me, how much different is he than Fred McGriff? Especially since they both played in Toronto. I don't see much of a difference between the two of them. He hit 280. He just played at the wrong time. Like it's a very simple concept to me that Delgado probably should be in the Hall of Fame. But I do understand, that why he is not. Because especially considering Seth's Hall of Very Good, he probably was in the Hall of Very Good. I mean, if you're going to go that route, right? Just so you're aware, in 2027, well, we know that this year the best newbie is Cole Hamels, which means
Nobody.
no newbies are getting in. No newbies are getting in. But Carlos Beltran may get it. He may. I'm not exactly sure he will, but he may get it. Next year, by the way, we know who's coming up next year, right? That would be one Peter Edward Gross. And that will be an amazing discussion, I think. I know you don't believe he goes in.
I don't. I think what he did is worse.
But he's dead.
So what's the point of putting him in?
But I think that's the point, right? So
he didn't get in while he's alive. The punishment is covered, and we're
punishment's good. There. So the only people that you are hurting are his family. You're not hurting him. And I'm not sure that's enough, truth be told. I don't know. But here's my take on this. And I've always said this, right? The Baseball Hall of Fame is a museum. You have agreed with this. You have said this numerous times, right?
Yes.
Can you tell the history of baseball without Pete Rose? No. The answer is no. You absolutely cannot. You can't tell the history of baseball without Barry Bonds, and you can't tell the history of baseball without Roger Clemens. Completely agree with, or Gary Sheffield to a lesser extent, but those three guys,
or A-Rod for that matter,
all agreed, right? Okay. So while they're alive, you're punishing them, right? You're punishing them. Once they die, you're punishing the fans because they're not in the Hall of Fame to learn about. Maybe that's where I'm going with this. It's still a museum, right? So at that point, I guarantee.
Now let me ask a question.
Yep, please.
So let's say in 5 years, they're alive. We have the separate branch or whatever you want to call of Clemens, Bonds, A-Rod. Okay.
Yeah.
Do we start now? These are also A-Rod is a top 3 player at his position of all time.
Absolutely.
Bonds is a top 3 player at his position of all time.
Yep.
Clemens is a top 10 starter of all time.
Yep.
These are all-time greats.
They are inner circle Hall of Famers.
Absolutely.
If they don't have any problems.
Now, when
100%.
Are we going to be tougher on the lower Hall of not quite Harold Baines low, but are you going to want a guy like Palmeiro or Sheffield or Sosa who would be a Hall of Fame under normal circumstances, but not at that echelon? Do you want them in as well? Or is it because these guys were so good that it just supersedes anything along those lines?
So here's my thing about, first of all, I don't believe Sosa's a Hall of Fame.
Fine, but you got my point.
Right? And I don't believe McGuire's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I didn't say McGuire. I don't think McGuire's a Hall of Famer either.
I know, but I don't believe Sosa's a Hall of Fame. So I think it's a matter of, why am I comparing A and B? They're different, aren't they? They're in different categories, aren't they?
Yeah, Palmeiro is not
cheater,
Bonds.
One's a cheater and one's not.
Wait. No, you're losing me here.
Okay, maybe I am. Try that again. Who am I comparing?
So we're saying those three get in.
Oh, we're saying they are going to get in.
We're
Okay.
saying Bonds, Clemens, A-Rod get in.
They definitely get in. Okay.
Let's say they get in.
Yep.
Those are upper echelon.
So
Top
you are
25
forgiven
players
the
of-
problem, right? You've essentially forgiven the problem.
Correct.
If you forgive the problem, you have to forgive the problem. You can't.
But that's where I'm going with this. Are you forgiving the problem for the players who would probably be Hall of Famers, but not at that level?
Well, I'm not in favor of any of them. So I wouldn't forgive the problem at all.
Okay.
So the concept of forgiving the problem is irrelevant to me because I don't forgive the problem to begin with.
Would you put Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame?
I forgive the problem when they die.
So you would put Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
And once Clemens is dead, you would put him in the Hall of Fame if it was.
Bye-bye, Roger. Yes, I would be fine with that because the point is, again, they should not celebrate. It's not, you shouldn't be congratulating them. That's it. They need, suffer is a bad word because I don't think anybody should suffer, but you shouldn't be rewarded. That's a better way. Don't be rewarded. Do you reward cheats? Do you reward? I think rewarding cheating is bad. Okay. Just in general.
So I'm looking at these things just like you said. So 26 is a very weak year.
Yep.
27, it's literally Buster Posey.
Well, but I'm also looking at the potential candidates for the classics. So that's anybody before 1980. So some of them are Tony Oliva was elected. So you got Buck O'Neill. I think Buck O'Neill goes in.
I can't believe Buck O'Neill's not in already.
Yep. Vada Pinson.
I think that's a given.
Isn't Luis Tiant?
Luis Tiant's not a Hall of Famer.
I don't know. I like Luis Tiant. I think Luis Tiant is one of those underrated guys, but that's just me. You look at Tiant. I mean, let's check out Tiant for a second. Tiant's WAR is 66.1, 229 wins, 172 losses. Understanding different era, right? Totally different era. My favorite comparable, 66 is a pretty good WAR. It's probably not perfect. The average Hall of Fame pitcher is a 72, so he's a little bit below. His contemporary, Catfish Hunter, is number one. Jim Bunning is number two.
They both won Cy Youngs, I believe. I don't think Tiant ever did.
That's true. Vida Blue is number 4, who's not in the Hall of Fame.
Vida Blue is not a Hall of Famer.
Drysdale is 6.
To quote you, Drysdale was a compiler.
Yes.
Very good.
Like when you quote me. That's excellent. Good work on that.
Thank you.
I like it when people quote me. More people should quote me. I get it. I think it's a weak crew, right? It's a very weak crew.
So just to keep going here, 27 is Buster Posey and John Lester. Posey with Mauer in, Posey is going to be in. It's the same thing.
Posey will be in. Yep.
Lester, good pitcher, not a Hall of Famer.
Not a Hall of Famer.
28 is Pujols and Molina. They'll both be in.
Yeah.
I assume Molina will get in first ballot. I would guess.
Yeah, I'm not a Molina guy, but I get it.
Yeah, I mean, he couldn't hit, but he was a great fielder.
Yep. He's the Ozzie Smith of catchers.
Yeah. I mean, Pujols is an inner tier.
Pujols is an inner tier.
And 29 is Miggy, Zach Greinke, and Joey Votto.
That's going to be a great class. It's funny. Miggy, Votto, and Greinke is one of the. I mean, the best class the last 50 years is Nolan Ryan, George Brett, and Robin Yount. Like that is supreme class.
Well, you're not a Nolan guy, if I remember.
I'm not a Nolan guy, but man, that's a class, dude. That's a class so much that Robin Yount only got 77%.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wouldn't put that. I mean, Greinke is a borderline. Votto is a borderline.
See, I don't view Greinke as a borderline.
You think he's an automatic?
Yeah, well, Greinke never won. Greinke won one Cy Young or did not
Yeah.
win. Yeah, I think Greinke again, underrated pitcher.
He also played for some lousy teams, to be fair.
Oh, agreed. I mean, you look at Zach Greinke's WAR. Remember, Tiant was 66.1. Greinke 77.4.
Yeah, I don't think it's an automatic. I think I mean, when you again, I'm not looking at the Baseball Reference comps.
No, I got it. Contemporaries. So best
Mike
comparables are
Mussina?
Schilling and Kevin Brown. Mussina is number 6, actually. And Kevin Brown
Brown was never seriously considered.
Right. Brown's probably the most underrated pitcher of the last 30 years.
He was a good pitcher.
Brown's WAR is 67.8.
Yeah, but I don't even think Brown ever made it. I don't think Brown was ever even remotely considered for the Hall.
No. Okay, so we got a couple of minutes left. Number 1, next week, just for shits and giggles, we will be doing a live one from the basement of Seth Kamen's on Friday.
Probably.
As we do our holiday celebration. We may have an appearance from Jay Kamens in his Alex Caruso jersey, which is on its way. I'm sure he will be thrilled. And we may have Miss Morgan Kamens with her Labubu doll, which is also on its way because Uncle Sean is the best uncle in the world. And so that we'll save for there. Okay, so last bit of information from me. I don't know. I'm happy to be an Islander fan right now. I'm looking forward to the Olympics. And go Knicks. I mean, the Knicks are playing very well, and they are, I believe, 2 games behind the Pistons. We didn't even talk about Giannis. I guess we'll get into that next week.
There's nothing to say at this point until something happens.
Until something happens? I don't know. The fake trades are making their way around, and I love fake trades.
You do like your fake trades.
Because, my God, if he goes with Wemby in San Antonio, that's the best fake trade out there. I love it. Okay, Seth, you got 2 minutes.
Since we missed last week, we didn't have the pleasure of talking about Lane Kiffin.
That's a pleasure?
Yeah, it's not quite the word I'd use.
He's scum.
College football is a mess, period. And while you can never begrudge someone for leaving to go to another team, that you threaten the coaches that don't come with you on the plane to not be allowed to come over with you is disgraceful.
He's scum.
For a guy who supposedly had grown up. Yeah. Not really buying it, buddy. We'll see how long the LSU. Look, the Michigan job is open. Game on.
Well, hold on. So here's my question to you. We're at the point where we can ask this. What is the over/under on the amount of years that Lane Kiffin is at LSU? 3? That's what I was going to go. I will do the over because I think he gets into his 4th year, but I think that's it. I think they give him 3, and then in his 4th year, he either leaves or he's fired. It's A or B. And next question is, who do you think is taking the Michigan job?
I got it. Jesse Minter.
Jesse Minter?
He's the defensive coordinator that came over with Harbaugh from Michigan to San Diego.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. Well, I haven't really. Literally, I found out about 3 minutes before we got on the air.
Michigan assistants in the NFL is Kevin Wilkins, Jay Harbaugh. Oh, that would be fun. How would you feel if Mike McDonald went from Seattle to Michigan?
Mike McDonald may win the NFL Coach of the Year. He's not going back to. He's not going to Michigan.
All right. We'll have more guesses next week. For Seth Kamens.
He'll be filled by that point.
No. They got a coach for the assistants taking over for the bowl game. They won't hire somebody by then.
Gotcha.
So for Seth Kamens, I'm Sean Palmer. We'll see you guys next week. Have a good one, everybody. See ya.